23rd Sunday in Ordinary Time, the divine gift of the church. In today's gospel passage from Matthew chapter 18, Jesus, as points out Brant Pitre, uses one of the only two times in Matthew's gospel the word church, or in Greek, ekklesia. What is church? What does church mean? What is the definition of being church? The late Cardinal Dulles gave us 6 images, all to help us to understand this mystery of who or what the church is. Prophet, the church's prophet, or he liked using the term herald. The church as servant, the church as an institution, the church as a communion, the church as a sacrament, and the church as a community of disciples. These are not the only images for us to understand the mystery of the church. There are other images too, from Revelation, such as the church as bride, the church as a family of God, the church as mystical body, or the church as vine and the church as gift. A student of Cardinal Dulles reminds us that the church is essentially a mystery. As a mystery, this mystery of the church is not totally inaccessible to us. We can understand something of the mystery of the church through these images, and they all help us to know a little bit more of the church, but never in a way where it's clear and distinct in our minds, because the church is essentially a mystery. These images actually do correspond to the mysterious reality of the church, but always in a limited way, which is why we need multiple images, for one image to balance another image, as we focus and our attention and meditate and contemplate the mystery of the church, the great divine gift of God to us. What is your favorite image of the church? My favorite image of the church is the church as a mystical body, and this is grounded in 1 Corinthians chapter 12, where St. Paul describes the church as a body with one head, who is Jesus Christ, and we are the members. As a body, as a mystical body, we are called to be interdependent upon one another, which informs how we are to understand love, not as something independent of one another, but interdependent, where we all suffer with one another, we rejoice with one another. If the head is honored, the toe rejoices and is honored along with the head, and if the toe hurts, the head screams in pain, as St. Augustine described. Another image that is my favorite is the church like a sacrament. The church like a sacrament. That's a direct quote from Lumen Gentium from Vatican II. And as a sacrament is a sacred sign instituted by Christ to give grace, or a visible sign of an invisible reality. So the church is a visible sign. We are the visible sign, especially the sacraments, the 7 sacraments, of an invisible reality. And what is that invisible reality but heaven, the heavenly dimension that encompasses all of us, the communion of saints glorifying God, and heaven is here but not yet fully in its definitive state. We overlap with heaven because of our baptism. Like a sacrament, we, as members of the church as a sacrament, as a visible sign of the invisible reality of heaven, are called to be like stained glass windows, different colors, all allowing the light of God, the light of heaven, shine through us if we allow that light to shine through us. And then, as it shines through our colored glass, we allow that light also to be reflected in a unique way. And the glory of that light, the glory of the image, as the light shines through our colored stained glass, is the splendor of truth, as John Paul II, borrowing words from John Paul II. We are intended by God to complement one another, as stained glass complements one another as it allows the light of the sun to shine through it. No single creature, Thomas Aquinas teaches, can perfectly reflect the infinite goodness and perfect truth of God. Therefore, we need one another to shine forth the splendor of truth, who is God. Pope Francis also states, we need to listen and to complement one another in our partial reception of reality and the gospel. Today, may we grow in appreciation of the great mystery of the church, of the divine gift of the church, May we allow God to shine in our minds a few helpful images of what it is the church, and more importantly, who is the church. May we allow God, through these images that He inspires in our minds, to transform us so that when people see us gathered together as church, as ecclesia, they will recognize the Church of Jesus Christ even before they hear us speak, for they will see how our love for one another is shaped by the perfect truth of Jesus Christ. God bless.